You know, when I think back about the origin of Project Artemis, it all comes back to caring about the women in Afghanistan. I was a member of the United States U.S. Afghan Women's Council. They had decided that we really need to help the women of Afghanistan and that we could focus on 4 key areas. First, the area of health. If there isn't health, nothing else really matters. After health, education, because education is the key and provides access to just about everything else. The next key area was economic empowerment. And finally, the 4th category was what in my generation was called civics. I thought the area in which I could be most helpful would be the area of economic empowerment. When I thought about what resources to bring to bear for that topic, nothing was a better match than Thunderbird. So I had a conversation with Steve Stralzer, who was most remarkable in a way that only a Thunderbird would be. And he said, we can do that. And he didn't say, well, who are we going to tap for funding and how are we going to do it? He said, that's a mission we believe in. And that fits what Thunderbird does. He said, I think we should call it Project Artemis. From that point, it was Project Artemis. It was focused at Thunderbird. It was developing a curriculum. It was bringing a cadre of women here to Arizona. And it was a program that really no one but Thunderbird would come up with an idea like that and bring it to fruition. When those women arrived, they were immersed. They lived on campus, they went to class, they had mentoring, they had site visits, they had practical application of the skills and talents that they were developing. There was a curriculum that was well thought out, well put together, and meaningful for exactly the kind of unusual environment that these women were operating in. Because of Thunderbird's cultural sensitivity, Thunderbird was able to build a curriculum that matched the cultural environment that this was going to be applied in. A second class came in a couple of years later and a third, but the curriculum and the profile was used for other geographies, for other countries. It became a community project, not just the Thunderbird project, but a community project. The women of Arizona pulled together to serve as mentors, guides, hosts, and leaders that helped to make the program a success. They were proud that Project Artemis was an Arizona program. They were proud to be associated with Thunderbird, and that pride is retained today. Thunderbird for Good and Project Artemis, I think, are the optimal, the quintessential example of what innovation can be. What this has become is a new paradigm in higher education, a paradigm that changes lives in the most dramatic ways. It's innovation at its best. We can't leave women out. If we don't include and engage women at the highest and most capable of their capacities, then we're shortchanging not just them, but the society in which they live. I believe in a nation and a world that engages talent in whatever package it comes in, and optimizing that talent and applying that talent and offering the opportunity for the fulfillment that comes from being productive members of society. Let's be proud today. Let's reflect on what has been achieved, and let's be proud of what has been accomplished by Thunderbird for Good, by Project Artemis, and by the environment here in Arizona in which we live.